Your old woman is going to a nursing home because I'm moving in with Catherine. If you don't like it, we can divorce.
Catherine looks at me with a malicious grin. Good manners are important, even among close friends, but some people just can't manage that. I don't want to live with someone who can't even maintain basic manners with their spouse or family, especially if it makes people uncomfortable. And it's even worse when that person is rude to my dear mom. But I have my own thoughts on this. I want to cut ties with my husband and Catherine, who have neglected my mom. My name is Elisa, a 32-year-old working wife. I live in my childhood home with my husband Daryl and my mom. We moved back in with Mom 2 years ago when my dad passed away, leaving her alone. My parents were very close and did everything together. After Dad's accident, Mom became withdrawn. At that time, Daryl had been laid off and we were struggling financially. Concerned for Mom, we suggested moving in together. Daryl seemed a bit reluctant, but couldn't argue since he was jobless. He agreed to my request. I have a professional license and a responsible job, so my days are hectic. During the week, Mom takes care of the housework and I help out on weekends. Daryl doesn't seem to want to do any chores. He's been job hunting and is on edge, so neither Mom nor I say anything. It took Daryl 6 months after moving in to finally find a job, but he keeps making excuses for not doing housework, like being stressed from his new job or being tired from overtime.
Men aren't good at detailed tasks.
Mom says with a smile, hiding her dissatisfaction, but I'm getting more and more frustrated. Hey, I work longer hours than you and even work on weekends. Why won't you help with the chores?
When I say this, Daryl grimaces and retorts. The right person in the right place, you know? I'm just not good at housework.
That makes me dig in my heels. I wasn't good at it at first either, but I made an effort to improve. You don't even seem willing to try.
The situation is different now. You learned housework when you had time. I am busy now. I can't be bothered with that.
Daryl says this and goes to sleep, avoiding further discussion. Lately, Mom's knees have been bothering her. I want us all to share the housework, but Daryl has no intention of helping from the get-go. As time goes on, it becomes the norm for Daryl not to do any housework. But recently, another issue has come up. On weekends, Daryl frequently invites his sister Catherine to our home. Catherine is 5 years older than me, but she doesn't act like a mature adult with common sense. I don't particularly like her because she has poor manners. She walks into our house and doesn't even take off her hat. When she finally does, she just plops it on the table. And instead of greeting Mom, who owns the house, she rudely asks, "Old woman, got any Coke?"
We don't have Coke.
Mom replies, visibly puzzled. Catherine then acts as if she's talking to her own parents.
What? Well, you should go buy some. It's bad manners not to offer anything to guests.
Please buy your own. We can't prepare for unexpected guests, I say, and she finally quiets down.
But then she goes on to open the doors to other rooms, and even helps herself to dessert from the fridge. I've warned Catherine multiple times, but she doesn't change her behavior.
Look, when Catherine comes over, neither Mom nor I can relax. It's fine if she visits occasionally, but every week is too much. If you're both free, why don't you go out somewhere instead of coming here?
You're neglecting my family? I'm living with your mother, Dina, because I have to. You should be grateful and have no complaints.
That's a separate issue.
It's not separate. I'm allowing Dina to live with us, so you should accept Catherine coming over.
I wish you wouldn't equate Mom with Catherine. Mom is quiet and unassuming, while Daryl is the one who treats her poorly. On the other hand, Catherine is rude to both Mom and me, causing us a lot of trouble. But saying this leads to an argument with Daryl, who doesn't get it. Daryl used to be a quiet, reserved person after we got married, but he seems to have changed since losing his previous job. He said he was laid off due to poor performance and looked very regretful. I don't really want to be hard on him considering that, but I still expect him to maintain basic manners. But the issue with Catherine visiting every week was just the tip of the iceberg. One day, Catherine arrived at our house carrying a large bag.
Get ready for me, she announced, leaving both Mom and me stunned.
We do have a vacant room that used to be Dad's study, but I don't want Catherine using it.
Wait, what's going on?
What's going on is that Catherine is moving in here from today.
Why? Neither Mom nor I were informed.
Stop nagging. I've decided that Catherine is moving in. If you have a problem with that, your old woman is going to a nursing home. If you don't like it, we can divorce.
Daryl shouts this, and behind him, Catherine smirks maliciously. I'm so shocked that my body stiffens and I can't even respond. I'm also furious that he called my mom an old woman. Then Daryl starts dictating again.
Dina, Catherine will be using your room, so you'll have to move to the study.
What?
As Mom looks stunned, Daryl and Catherine head upstairs. Mom and I follow them only to find them entering Mom's room and trying to move her furniture out. I've had enough. I yell at them.
Fine, let's get divorced. Now please leave.
What? Are you serious? What? Are you serious?
Daryl looks down at me and laughs. I nod without hesitation.
I am. I've been putting up with you and Catherine for too long. Living with Catherine is out of the question. If you say it's divorce if I don't like it, then I welcome it. I'll take care of my mom.
You're gonna throw away your life for an old woman with limited years left?
You don't get it. Spending the rest of my life with you would be the real waste. You are the one who brought up divorce, so follow through.
Fine. Until I find a new place, Catherine will stay in my room. Why don't you move over to your beloved Dina's room?
I was planning to do that anyway. Don't regret divorcing me later.
Fine. Until I find a new place, Catherine will stay in my room. Why don't you move over to your beloved Dina's room?
I was planning to do that anyway. Don't regret divorcing me later.
Fine. Until I find a new place, Catherine will stay in my room. Why don't you move over to your beloved Dina's room?
I was planning to do that anyway. Don't regret divorcing me later.
Posey looked displeased.
Oh, I thought this was the custom in this house, given how Catherine behaved.
How rude.
Ignoring her anger, I walked into the room. Oswald wasn't around and Posey was flustered by my behavior. I sat down arrogantly on the living room sofa and made a request, just like Catherine used to do.
Could you get me a Coke?
What? We don't have Coke.
Could you go buy some then? I'll be here so you can just run to the store.
What is this? You came to apologize for the divorce, right? I heard you had an affair. And yet you act like this.
Me having an affair? I haven't done anything like that. Show me proof before making such claims. Besides, this is how your daughter treated us in our home. Didn't you raise her to act this way? And now you find my behavior rude?
Posey turned pale and fell silent.
I don't know anything about Catherine's actions. She's never listened to me, no matter how much I scold her.
So you gave up on educating her, and that's why you have such a selfish and self-centered daughter and son.
Daryl is different. He's always been quiet and never caused trouble for anyone.
Then, why would such a polite person bring his sister into our home without asking and try to kick my mom out of her room? The reason we divorced is that Daryl told me if I didn't want to live with Catherine, then we should divorce. Where did this affair story come from?
Posey looked confused and just stared at the ground. It seemed pointless to continue the conversation, so I stood up.
Please tell your children not to behave like this in the future. I apologize for my rude behavior today.
I said my piece and left. After that incident, my parents-in-law formally came to apologize. I told them, please apologize to Mom, and Oswald did so sincerely, even giving us compensation for the trouble. Mom was quite taken aback. I heard that Posey later called Daryl and Catherine to their home and scolded them. While Posey has often been inconsiderate, she apparently not as bad as Catherine. My reenactment of Catherine's behavior must have made her realize something needed to change. Rumor has it that both parents gave their kids a good talking to. But it seems Daryl and Catherine's troubles didn't end there. I found out when Daryl called me sometime after Mom and I had moved.
Hey Lisa, where are you?
Why do I have to tell you?
Because your house is up for sale.
Daryl raised his voice, clearly frustrated. I repeated my question.
So why do I need to tell you where I am?
Oh, that's
He hesitated, finally grasping the point of my question.
because I still love you.
What?
I realized how much I missed you after you left. I regret how I acted. I was just putting on a show in front of Catherine. I really wanted to cherish you and Dina, but I've never been able to stand up to Catherine. I really wanted to cherish you and Dina, but I've never been able to stand up to Catherine.
No matter how much he claims to have changed, or how much he apologizes, or even professes his love, my heart remains unmoved. There is no forgiving the way he brought Catherine into our home, threatened divorce, and insulted my mom.
I am not interested in how you feel. We're divorced. No matter how much you apologize or offer money, I will never remarry you.
Don't say that. I've realized how important you and Dina are to me. I promise it won't happen again. Just give me one more chance.
You're just struggling with someone to do the housework, aren't you?
He groaned, confirming my suspicion. I just said something that came to mind, but it turned out to be true. Moreover, I can't believe that he asked me to get back together.
You're the worst. Remember how you laughed when we talked about divorce? How you and Catherine looked down on Mom and me. Now the tables have turned.
His attitude changed.
You're getting cocky just because I'm being humble here.
Weren't you supposed to be remorseful? Didn't Oswald and Posey educate you properly? Like, don't inconvenience others and apologize when you've done something wrong?
It's you who should apologize. I heard you were rude to Mom. You lied and said Catherine did it. Both of us got scolded by Dad.
I couldn't help but laugh at his childish remarks.
Are you saying you've never been scolded by your dad so you can act this way? How old are you? Some people your age are already raising kids and teaching them the ways of the world, and here you are in your 30s talking like a teenager. You chose this life, didn't you? Stop blaming others and take responsibility.
You're making fun of me, aren't you?
If you can't understand what I'm saying, there's no point in talking to you. Don't contact me again.
I immediately hung up the phone and blocked Daryl's number. After that, I only received notifications of missed calls, but I had no intention of answering them. Apparently, Daryl and Catherine moved into a condo, but neither of them did any housework, so it quickly turned into a hoarding mess. I heard they were even asked to leave by the condo owner due to the bad smell and Catherine's noisy behavior. They hastily hired a cleaning company, and although things improved for a while, their place soon reverted to its original messy state. That's why they reached out to me for help. Moreover, Catherine is a big spender. She used to rely on her boyfriend, but he broke up with her due to her outrageous behavior. I can't say I feel sorry for her. They're both struggling financially because Catherine was counting on Daryl's income and spending recklessly. After settling into my new place, I took a trip with my mom. She seemed down, thinking my divorce was her fault. Taking her to Hawaii lifted her spirits, and she smiled brightly for the first time in a while. As for the future, I'm not making any plans.
I might remarry or I might not.
If I do, it will be with someone who has basic manners and values family.
I plan to continue working hard and taking good care of my mom.